All right, after 7 days overseas, we are officially back in the office, and I have quite a bit of a recap from our Tokyo trip, as it was my first non-business trip slash vacation. I think pretty much ever, other than like going back home for Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. I am a little bit disappointed in myself. I had some good time to reflect on my run that I just got back from. So I'm super out of whack, and I'm trying to not miss any beats, but it is 9:27 right now, and I just got back from a run, so I don't miss any of the like workouts or anything. I actually ran 21 miles while I was in Japan, but I had some good time to reflect on the trip and what went well, what I think could have been better. And I think that continuous loop of improvement is genuinely the most important thing in any sort of relationship or in life in general. The one thing that I look for when it comes to people that I interact with on a consistent basis and someone that I want to keep in touch with and stay in my life is, do they have that level of want for continuous improvement? Because no one comes out the womb perfect, and no one ever gets to be perfect. But if we continue to get better at each and everything that we do all the time, then we're going to be pretty enjoyable to be around and pretty awesome humans as a whole. So some of the things that I thought went really well was the work distinction from play. And I had a couple variables this time around that I haven't had on any other trips, which was I was halfway around the world. So I believe I was 16 hours ahead from Phoenix and 13 hours ahead from East Coast time. So there was really only like a certain amount of hours that were overlapping on the trip. So like I'd typically work from 5 or 6 a.m. to 10 or 11 a.m. each day, and that would be 1 or 2 p.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. on Phoenix time. So it was really, I was working from like, call it 2 to 7 each day. And after 7 Pacific time, there's really not that much that goes on. So it was pretty cool because I could wake up and all of the stuff that would happen throughout the day would be sitting there in my inbox at kind of like 2 or 3 p.m. And then I could just go in and clear all of that, and there wouldn't be a ton of like back and forth afterwards. So that was one of the variables, was that like while I was out and about and like exploring Japan with my brother, there was no real like communication that was coming in and requests on my time, because when it was 1 p.m. in Japan and we're in Shibuya or at a temple, it was like no one's texting me for stuff because it's 3 a.m. Back home. So that was one thing that was on my side. And then second thing was that this is the first trip that I've taken where my assistant, or first extended trip that I've taken where my assistant is like fully up to speed. So clients were still getting answered really fast, and I was just handling like end of day communications with Randall. So it was really, really strong on that front. So yes, it went really well from a work balance perspective, but had I not had those two variables, I think it might have been different, because even like little things like creating this kind of video right here, I wasn't able to maintain the standard on. I wasn't able to maintain the standard on my diet. I ate a lot of burgers and fries while I was out there. I was able to maintain the runs, but not even on like the cadence that I was supposed to with my coach. Like I'd take like one longer run every 2 days or so. And at the core, that comes down to a lack of discipline on my end and a lack of self-leadership, which I think could definitely be improved upon on my end. I think that I need to do better in terms of staying disciplined and being the leader of myself and those around me, or doing things that were convenient and not doing things that were necessary. Because I was going to say like, hey, well, I didn't do as much running because I wanted to spend more time with my brother, but at the same time I was still working like 5 hours-ish per day, and we weren't going to spend that time together. So I don't know if that was necessarily like, the running also was pretty inconvenient because you had to Uber like 15 minutes over to a park, or take the train over for like a half hour, or go run in the city, which if you've been to Tokyo or seen it, it's the biggest city in the world, and it's not relatively easy to run, especially intervals and speed work. So I would go to Imperial Palace running track or running loop and run there. But anyways, I overall give it a really high quality rating for the trip. I can sleep well at night knowing that I'm improving each time we have these like family activities that aren't full-blown work trips. I do really well when it's just work and nothing else, and I want to continue building that muscle for when the time comes when I do have a family of my own, that I'm able to be there and be that leader and be that person that can continue to do the right things in those kind of situations. But we did have a really cool trip. We did ate at lots of different places. I personally, it might be a controversial opinion, I wasn't a huge fan of the food. Maybe you call it the American diet, but I found it hard to just find like regular like chicken and rice or like normal. I say normal. I don't know what category of food I like, but like American kind of stuff. So I ended up eating a lot of burgers. We did Shibuya Sky, which was really cool. We went to go see a couple like temples, like Asakusa, I think it was called. It was like pretty cool. And then on the way home, we got to fly business because they had this auction that was like, you can bid to get a business class seat if you want to bid like $600 for both, like in 600 each, but you had to bid for both. So I was like, okay. I basically put my card down for, I think it was like $1,200 or something, $1,300 for both of the tickets. I put my card down. They didn't charge it. And they just sit there, and it's like, did you win the bid or not? And we ended up winning the bid. So my brother and I flew business, which I thought was pretty cool on the way back. So overall, things that went well were work balance between like working and enjoying time. Like I wasn't glued to my phone doing work while we were exploring. That was a win. And then also the amount of time on the trip, I think, was a big win because both of us left and we were like, yeah, we did everything we wanted to do. And I think if we stayed another day, we would have kind of been like, all right, like what are we doing? Granted, we could have planned better if there was another day, but I also do think, I don't think we rushed anything either. Like did everything that we wanted to do. Got lots of gifts and presents for people back home. So that's what went well. And then what I think could have went better was like restaurant and activity selection beforehand. I would have liked to just like know where we were going at what time. So I think that's a note that I make for myself where it's like next time we do a trip like that, I want to have everything laid out beforehand to where there's like no questioning or no guessing. We spent a lot of time like planning while we were there. Got everything done, but I think could have been more efficient. And then also I would have liked to stay on point with my YouTube videos, stories, and daily non-negotiables. So I think having like a travel non-negotiable list, I think would be really good for going forward. Just like make sure to do the video, make sure to do the stories, make sure to still do the reach outs, and make sure that everything's cleared before bed or something like that. But overall, I think really strong trip, lots of takeaways, and a good minute to recharge. What I'm doing right now and trying to battle, I don't think it's the right word. I'm not trying to battle anything, but like what has been a little bit difficult has been the time zone coming back. Like we got back yesterday at 11 p.m. and went right to bed. And I was like, oh, I'm just not going to set an alarm, like whatever. I need to sleep. And I ended up waking up at 10:30 today, which was not the best. So now it's 9:35 and I'm not that tired. So I'm going to finish up this video, upload it, finish the reach outs for the day, and then go to sleep. So there's that. And then also just like spent a lot of time not working. That was the most time ever I think I was like not worked in a week. That was definitely the least I've worked in a week since I can remember, or probably since I was in college. So there's a bit of like recovery and like get back into the mindset of like, no, we do work all the time, and that's what we do. So but I don't think that'd be an issue because I worked all day today. After my brother, I felt bad. My brother left at 10:30, and I woke up by him knocking on my door and going, yo, like, I'm leaving. I was like, shit. I wanted to hang out for a little bit in the morning, but I should have set an alarm. But anyways, that was the Japan trip in a nutshell. Now we're back to it. One of the things I'd like to do to continue making this series more useful and fruitful from a documentary style is bringing back some level of structure to the video as opposed to me just like ripping off the top like this. It's easy for me to go for 9 minutes like this when I haven't gave an update in a week, but I would like to have some structure to the daily ones. So expect that in the near future, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.